My wealthy uncle cut me out of his life after I refused to join his company, but now he needs my signature to access his fortune. My parents died in a car accident when I was 11, leaving me in the care of my Uncle Robert. My father's older brother, Uncle Robert, was a self-made tech millionaire who had built his company from scratch and was obsessed with his legacy. Having no children of his own from the moment I moved into his mansion, he made it clear he was grooming me to take over his empire. Initially, I was grateful for his attention. He enrolled me in the best private school, hired tutors, and took me to business meetings where he'd introduce me as the future of Mitchell Telengings. By 14, I could recite his company's financial statements and had shadowed every department head. Problems began when I developed interests outside his plan. I joined the school's music program and discovered my talent for composition. When I told Uncle Robert I wanted to audition for a prestigious summer music program instead of the business internship he'd arranged, he dismissed my interest without looking up from his laptop. I auditioned anyway and was accepted with a scholarship. Uncle Robert refused to sign the permission forms or provide transportation. My music teacher, Mrs. Chen, helped me arrange everything. When Uncle Robert discovered I was attending despite his refusal, he cut my allowance and took away my laptop as consequences. This pattern continued throughout high school. Every interest outside of business was treated as betrayal. When I was accepted to Williard, Uncle Robert refused to pay, having already arranged for me to attend his alma mater's business school. Mrs. Chen and her husband helped me apply for scholarships and financial aid. I worked multiple jobs to cover remaining costs and moved across the country. Uncle Robert's parting message was that I was making the biggest mistake of my life and his door would remain open when I inevitably failed. Over the next 8 years, I built a successful career composing for film and television, winning an Emmy and several nominations. I never heard from Uncle Robert despite sending invitations to premieres and copies of my work. 3 weeks ago, I received a call from Uncle Robert's lawyer requesting an urgent meeting during our video conference. He explained that Uncle Robert had suffered a stroke. During his recovery, an audit revealed that when Uncle Robert established his company 25 years ago, he had listed my father as a silent partner with a 30% stake. After my father's death, that stake legally transferred to me. For years, Uncle Robert had operated under the assumption he had bought out my father's share, but the paperwork was never properly executed. The company was preparing for a major acquisition, but they couldn't proceed without resolving this ownership issue. Uncle Robert needed me to either sell my shares or sign off on the acquisition. I flew to California and visited Uncle Robert in his rehabilitation facility. He assumed I had come to negotiate, but I explained I just wanted to see how he was doing. We talked for nearly 2 hours about my career, his company, and the years spent apart. He never apologized directly, but asked questions about my work that showed he'd been following my career before leaving. I told him I'd sign the acquisition papers in exchange for 3 conditions: establish an arts scholarship fund at his alma mater, donate to music programs in public schools, and attend my symphony premiere if medically cleared. He agreed to all conditions. The acquisition went through, multiplying his net worth considerably. He established the scholarship fund and made the donations as promised. Yesterday, I received a package containing a framed photo of my father and him as young men standing in front of their first office. The note read, "Your father would have been proud of the path you chose. I am learning to be as well. I don't know if Uncle Robert and I will ever have the relationship I wanted as a child. Too many years have passed, but here is something poetic about my father's silent partnership, ultimately forcing his brother to recognize that there are many valid definitions of success."